So, ayan. So, welcome to our channel, no? So, our topic for today is yung tinatawag nating PFRS 5 or non-current asset held for sale and discontinued operation. Okay, so mapapansin mo, dalawang topic, no? So, merong non-current asset na held for sale and discontinued operation. So, kaya siya magkasama kasi yung both topic is focusing on disposal. Okay? So, yung non-current asset held for sale mo is dinispose mo o kaya naman yung discontinued operation mo is tinanggal mo. Okay? So, the topic is non-current asset held for sale and discontinued operation. It provide guidance on the classification, measurement, and presentation of the non-current asset held for sale and discontinued operation. So, yung non-current asset, so ito yung mga PPE mo, land, intangible asset, investment properties. Whereas, yung discontinued operation mo, ito naman yung mga operation mo in the business. For example, isa kang uh, packaging ng mga delata. Okay? So, i-discontinue mo na daw yung operation mo sa pagpo-produce ng delata mo sa ibang bansa. Okay? So, discontinued operation yan. So, for example din, si Jollibee. Si Jollibee is meron iba-ibang branch. I-discontinue niya na yung sa branch niya sa ibang bansa. Those are discontinued operations. Okay? So, first part muna tayo. Focus tayo sa non-current asset held for sale. Okay? So, PFRS 5 is purpose is to ensure that entities provide relevant and transparent financial information about the asset operation that are being disposed of or are no longer part of the ongoing business. Okay? So, yung non-current asset held for sale mo dito is focusing on recovery through sale. Okay? So, di ba sabi natin sa mga non-current asset, example natin is yung mga PPE, di ba nare-recover mo yung cost niya through continuing use. Pero kapag hindi mo na siya kinonsider for continuing use, gusto mo na siyang ibenta para makabawi-bawi ka naman, kailangan i-reclassify mo siya as PFRS 5. Okay? So, ano ba ang makakasama sa PFRS 5? Siyempre, PPE. Okay? Investment property measured under the cost model. Investment in associate, subsidiary, or joint venture. And the intangible asset. So, kung mapapansin mo, yung apat na yon is measured at cost. Okay? It can be measured at cost or equity model. And usually, dun sa apat, meron kang tinatawag na control. Okay? So, ano naman yung mga hindi kasama? Hindi naman kasama dito yung deferred tax asset. Okay, bakit hindi kasama yung deferred tax asset? Kasi di ba ang deferred tax asset is future tax benefits. Okay? Yung future tax benefit na yan is mare-recover mo lang yan through creditable withholding tax. Okay? Hindi mo siya pwede ibenta pero mare-recover mo siya pag ginamit mo siya as creditable withholding tax. Asset arising from employee benefits. So, syempre, ito yung mga benepisyo na natatanggap ng mga empleyado. It arises from arrangement with the employee. So, malamang pag binenta mo, hindi magwawala sila. Okay? So, hindi rin pwede. Financial asset within the scope of PFRS 9, which is financial instruments. So, yung mga financial assets within the scope of PFRS 9, these are financial assets that are measured at fair value. Okay? And usually, yung nasa PFRS 9, ang intention niyan is meron yang business model. Okay? Na kung saan yung business model mo, dyan nakalagay yung intention mo kung bakit ka bumili or bakit ka merong financial asset. Okay? So, hindi rin yan kasama. Investment property measured under fair value model. Okay? So, mapapansin mo, yung cost model na investment property is kasama sa non-current asset held for sale. Pero yung investment property measured at fair value is hindi isinasama. Okay? Kasi 'di ba, kung maalala mo sa investment property, yung investment property that are measured under fair value model ay ang intention nun is to have capital gain. Okay? Kung hindi man capital gain, future use. Okay? So bakit mo ibebenta? Yung intention mo is para kumita or tumaas yung value, or yung meron ka pag gagamitan in the future. Okay? So hindi rin siya kasama. Next is yung mga biological asset, no? Mga biological asset under PAS 41, agriculture. Kasi 'di ba ang measurement mo ng PAS 41 is fair value less cost to sell. Okay? So ang intention mo naman diyan talaga is magbenta ng agricultural product. So redundant na siya kung i-reclassify mo siya as non-current asset held for sale. And lastly, yung mga contractual rights under issuance contracts. Okay? So dati PFRS 4 to eh. Ngayon PFRS 17. Okay? So yung contractual rights under issuance contracts. So usually hindi siya kasama kasi mayroon tong unique measurement na kung saan fino-fulfill yung cash flow. May fulfillment and cash flow or assumption of risk. Okay? So, since mayroong assumption of risk or mayroong future cash flow, hindi rin siya pwedeng i-benta as non-current asset held for sale. So, hindi sila kasama. So, yung non-current asset held for sale mo, pwede mo siyang i-dispose as a group in a single transaction. O kaya naman, iisang item. Okay? So, kapag ka group of asset na yung dinispose, ang tawag na sa kanya is disposal group. Okay? These are non-current asset in a disposal group. Kailangan mong tandaan, kapag nasa disposal group na siya, lahat ng non-current asset na nakalagay dun sa disposal group, kailangan i-transfer mo din lahat ng related liabilities. Okay? So, dapat lahat ng related liabilities dun sa non-current asset na nakalagay sa disposal group is dapat i-transfer mo din. So, for example, meron kang land, okay, sa disposal group, ibebenta mo na siya. Ngayon, yung land na yan is naka-mortgage. Okay? So, merong mortgage payable na binabayaran. Yung mortgage payable is a liability na nakakabit dun sa land. So, sabi ng standard, kapag kinonsider mo yung land na ibenta as held for sale, kailangan yung mortgage payable is dapat i-transfer mo na din. Dapat kasama siyang matatransfer dun sa pagbebentahan mo. Okay? Pero hindi sila pwede i-offset ha. Sa presentation, hindi sila i-offset. Again, sa presentation, hindi siya i-offset. Pero kailangan i-transfer mo upon sale. Okay? So, presented pa rin sila as one single item. So, kumbaga, makikita mo sa financial statements, meron doon non-current asset held for sale. Tapos, doon sa liability side, liabilities associated with non-current asset held for sale. Okay? May separate line item sila. Okay? Next na kailangan mong tandaan, lahat ng non-current asset classified as held for sale shall be presented separately as current asset. Okay? So, dapat yung mga non-current asset held for sale, once na classified siya as PFRS 5, kailangan i-classify mo siya as current asset. Okay? So, huwag ka malilito sa presentation. Hindi porket non-current asset held for sale yung pangalan, non-current asset na siya. Okay? Kasi nga, ang presentation niya na is current asset. And also, paragraph 38, provide that if non-current asset is a disposal group classified as held for sale, the asset and liabilities of the group shall be presented separately and cannot be offset as a single amount. Yan yung sinasabi natin na kapag nasa disposal group siya, meron silang separate line item. Okay? So, yung disposal group, sabi nga natin, this is a group of asset to be disposed of by sale or otherwise together in a single transaction and liabilities directly associated with those assets that will be transferred in the transaction. So, kapag ka na-consider siya a disposal group, dapat ibenta mo siya sa iisang single transaction lamang. Hindi mo siya pwede ibenta ng paisa-isa. Okay? Hindi mo pwede ibenta ng paisa-isa. Dapat, kapag nasa disposal group, ibenta mo siya as one single transaction. Okay? And dapat, tandaan mo, sa non-current asset held for sale, hindi kasama dito yung mga abandoned non-current asset. Okay? So PFRS paragraph 13 provides that an entity shall not classify as held for sale a non-current asset that is to be abandoned. Kapag ka ang intention mo is i-abandon mo lang, wala kang pakialam, hindi mo ibebenta, hindi mo kailangan isama as non-current asset held for sale. Kasi nga, ang sabi natin, ang intention mo sa non-current asset held for sale is disposal, recovery through cost. Okay, so natin, recovery through cost, through sale. Okay, recovery through sale. Kaya hindi kasama yung mga abandoned non-current asset. Okay? So, ano ba ang mga condition para ma-classify mo as non-current asset held for sale? Ang sabi ng standard, dapat ma-meet mo yung dalawang condition. Okay? So, number 1 na condition is dapat yung non-current asset is available for immediate sale. Okay, in current condition, subject only to terms that are usual and customary. So, ibig sabihin, dapat in its present condition, in its current condition, pwede mo na siyang ibenta. Wala nang repair. Okay, hindi na kailangan repair. Ang pwede lang is yung mga subject to term or usual and customary, yung mga delivery costs, kailangan dalhin mo siya sa lugar kasi nga ibebenta mo. Pero kapag ini-repair mo siya, hindi na siya masasubject as non-current asset held for sale. Okay? Next is, the sale should be highly probable. Okay? So, paano mo ba masasabing highly probable? Dapat masatisfy niya ang isa dito sa 5. Okay? So, pwede mo sabihin na the management is committed to selling the asset. Okay? Highly probable yan kapag si management is committed to sell the asset. Highly probable din if actively seeking ka ng buyer, naghahanap ka talaga ng buyer. The sales price is reasonable in relation to the asset current fair value. So reasonable siya, so kunyari binibenta mo ng 200,000 yung 150,000. So medyo malapit. So reasonable. Okay? The sale is expected to be completed within 1 year from the date of classification. So ito, tandaan mo, dapat mabenta mo siya within 1 year. Ang exception dyan, kapag merong kapag na-delay. Okay? Yung delay is cost nung buyer. Okay? Yung delay is cost nung buyer, so therefore, pwede siyang lumagpas. Okay, basta may delay. Pero kapag in normal circumstances, dapat within 1 year, makompleto na yung transaction. And it's likely the sale will be withdrawn. Okay, so hindi daw babawiin yung sale. Okay, hindi mo siya intention na bawiin or tanggalin sa pagkakabenta. Okay, so highly probable siya kapag na-meet niya yung 1 of the 5. So, kapag na-classify siya as held for sale, sabi natin, kailangan i-present mo siya as current asset. So, paano ba daw siya mini-measure? Once classified, kailangan i-measured mo siya at lower. Okay? Lower between carrying amount and fair value less cost of disposal. So, current amount or carrying value versus fair value less cost of disposal. Okay, other term dito is recoverable cost. Okay, yan yung other term. Okay, so kung ano mas mababa, yun ang measurement ng non-current asset held for sale. And dapat tandaan mo, hindi na rin siya pwede i-depreciate. Okay, kasi nga ibebenta mo na bakit mo pa siya i-depreciate? Okay, once classified as non-current asset held for sale, hindi na siya dapat i-depreciate. Titigil na yung depreciation. Kasi depreciation is on continuing use. Okay, sabi nga natin, recovery to through sale. Okay? Write down to fair value less cost of disposal. If the asset fair value less cost of disposal is lower than carrying amount, the write down to fair value less cost of disposal is treated as an impairment loss. So, di ba sabi natin kanina, mamimili ka kung sino ang mas mababa. Okay? Kapag mas mababa yung fair value less cost of disposal or recoverable cost kesa sa carrying amount, yung difference nun is impairment loss. Okay? So, for example, yung carrying amount is 100,000. Okay? Yung carrying amount is 100,000 whereas yung fair value less cost of disposal is 90,000. So, syempre, mas mababa yung 90,000, pipiliin mo yun. Yung difference nilang dalawa na 10,000 is considered as impairment loss. Okay? Then, subsequent increase in fair value, in the event naman na nagkamali ka, okay, so subsequently, sabi mo nagkamali ka, hindi daw 90,000 pala yung recoverable cost or yung fair value less cost of disposal. Ang tama pala is 105. Okay? Kailangan i-reverse mo yung 10,000 as a gain. Okay, yung previously recognized mo as impairment loss is kailangan i-recognize mo as a gain. Okay? Ano ang mangyayari? Ano mangyayari dun sa 5,000? Kasi di ba 15,000 to? 90 versus 105,000 is 15,000. Okay, yung 10,000 reversal of impairment loss, whereas yung 5,000 is ignored. Okay? Bakit mo siya i-ignore? Kasi nga 'di ba, babalik ka dun sa mamimili ka kung sino mas mababa. Okay? 'Di ba, itong 105 pag kinumpara mo sa carrying amount niya, mas mababa na yung carrying amount niya. Therefore, yung carrying amount na yung magiging value ng non-current asset held for sale mo. Okay? So, next is kapag may change in classification. So, pag sinabi natin change in classification, hindi na siya ceases to be yung non-current asset held for sale mo, is ceases to be a non-current asset held for sale. Ibabalik mo na siya. Okay? Ayaw mo na ibenta. Nagbago yung isip ko. Ayaw mo nang ibenta. So, kapag ayaw mo nang ibenta, kailangan mo siyang i-revalue uli. I-revalue mo siya sa lower again ng carrying amount versus sa recoverable amount. Pero yung carrying amount dito, as if walang reclassification. So, as if tuloy-tuloy lang yung depreciation niya. Okay, as if tuloy-tuloy lang yung depreciation. Tapos yung recoverable amount niya, yun din yun, yung estimated fair value less cost of disposal. Okay? So, para mas malinaw, punta tayo sa example. Okay, so illustration. Okay, example natin, no, yung ating PFRS 5. Okay? So, on January 1, 2024, an entity acquired equipment to be used in ordinary business at a cost of 5 million. The equipment has an estimated useful life of 10 years and the residual value of 500,000. On January 1, 2027, the equipment was classified as being held for sale. On such date, the fair value less cost of disposal was estimated at 1,900,000. On June 30, 2027, the equipment was sold for 1,500,000. So, journalize natin yung mga transaction. Okay, so nagkaroon ng kwento, si entity daw bumili ng equipment. Okay, so on January 1, so lagyan natin Jan 1, 2024. Okay, on January 1, 2024, bumili ng equipment. So under PAS 16, PPE, measured dapat siya at cost. Okay, so magkano daw ba siya nabili? 5 million. So debit equipment, okay, 5 million. Credit, cash, or accounts payable. Okay, at 5 million. Hindi kasi sinabi, no, kung credit or cash basis. Pero ito yung entry niya, cash or accounts payable. Okay. Lumipas ang taon, presentation mo, December 31, 2024, kailangan mag-recognize ka ng depreciation. Okay? So, depreciation expense, debit. Dep expense na lang, no? Credit, accumulated depreciation. Equipment. So, by how much? The problem is silent. So, gamitin natin is straight line method. Okay? So, since the problem is silent, gamitin natin straight line method. So, sabi, 5 million yung cost minus the residual value. Okay, if any. So, merong residual value na 500,000. So, equal yan sa 4,500,000. Divided by its useful life na 10 years. 10 years daw yung useful life. So, ang depreciation mo is 450,000. Okay, 450,000. Okay. So, next year uli, 2025. So, 2025, lagay ko na lang. Mag-recognize ka uli ng depreciation expense at accumulated. Okay. Same amount na 450,000 kasi ang ginamit natin is straight line. Okay, same amount, straight line method. Next is 2026. Okay, hindi pa rin man siya binibenta, na 2027 pa daw binenta. So, continuous yung depreciation. So, debit, dep expense, credit, accumulated. Dep expense. Same amount, 450,000. Okay, so pasensya, pangit ng sulat. Okay, same amount, 450,000. Ngayon, nagkaroon ng bentahan ng January 1, 2027. So, January 1, 2027, nagkaroon na ng bentahan. Na-classified na daw siya as held for sale. So, sabihin na natin na meet niya yung condition niya na highly probable and immediate sale. Okay? So, kailangan i-classified mo siya as non-current asset, held for sale, account, amounting to what? Okay? Ang sabi natin, ang measurement mo is lower between carrying value or carrying amount versus sa fair value less cost to sell or cost to dispose. Okay? Yung cost to dispose mo na estimation, fair value less cost of disposal is 1.9 million. So, 1.9 million ito. Whereas yung carrying amount mo is magkano? 5 million minus lahat ng recognized carrying amount. Okay? So, 5 million minus 450 minus 450 at minus 450. So, magkano yun? Okay? So, 5 million minus 1,350,000. Okay, itong tatlo. 450 plus 450 plus 450. So, 5M minus tatlong 450. So, 1,350,000. The answer is, carrying amount mo is 3,650,000. So, whichever is lower. So, since whichever is lower, yung non-current asset held for sale mo is 1.9. Okay? So, eto, 1.9. So, ang entry mo is to debit non-current asset held for sale 1,900,000. Okay? Kailangan i-recognize mo yung PPE. Okay? So, debit, accumulated, depreciation, expense, amounting to 103.50. Yung tatlong 450,000. Credit, equipment, At cost, 5 million. Okay. Tama na ba yan? The answer is no, kulang pa. Kasi sabi ng standard, kapag ka mas mababa yung fair value less cost to dispose mo o yung recoverable amount mo versus sa carrying amount, kailangan mag-recognize ka ng impairment loss. So, debit impairment loss amounting to 3,650 million minus 1.9 million. Okay. The answer is 1,750,000. Okay. So, debit 1,750,000. Okay. So, kung ang question is magkano yung non-current asset held for sale mo recognized as January 1, 2027, the answer is 1,900,000. Magkano impairment loss? 1,750,000. Okay? Tapos na ba entry mo? The answer is no, may isa pa. May June 30 pa, no? So, yung June 30, nagkaroon ng bentahan na. Okay? June 30, 2027, nabenta na daw siya. So, debit, cash, or accounts receivable. Okay? Hindi na natin alam kung nabenta ba siya through cash or through receivable. Amounting to 1,500,000. Credit, non-current asset held for sale amounting to 1.9. And yung difference is loss on sale. Okay, bakit loss on sale? Bumaba yung natanggap po kaysa dun sa value niya. Okay, so loss on sale ka ng 400,000. Okay? Okay? So, dagdagan na natin, no, kumpletuhin na natin yung istorya. Okay? So, for example, no, hindi natuloy yung sale. Okay? So, for example, hindi natuloy yung sale ng June 30. Nag-lapse nung January 1, 2028. Okay? So, for example, nag-lapse nung January 1, 2028. So, ang sabi ng standard, nag-cease to exist na siya. Hindi na siya non-current asset held for sale. Okay? So, balik siya sa PAS 16. Okay? So, debit ka. Okay, so debit tayo ng equipment. Okay, debit equipment ng 5 million. So, ibabalik mo yung 5 million. Debit din tayo, credit ng accumulated depreciation amounting to 1,350,000. Ibalik lang natin yung accumulated na din-recognize natin. Okay? Credit din ng non-current asset held for sale na 1,900,000. Okay? So, tama na ba? Kulang pa, no? Kailangan i-reverse mo din yung impairment loss previously recognized. Okay? So, credit na yan sa accumulated surplus. Kasi last year na yan. Okay, accumulated surplus na 1,750,000. Okay? May additional entry pa ba? The answer is yes. Kasi lumipas yung taon. Okay? Lumipas yung taon from January 1, 2027 to January 1, 2028. So, as if there is a depreciation. Okay? So, debit, depreciation, expense na 450,000 and accumulated depreciation expense na 450,000. Okay? So, applicable lang tong entry na to kasi walang sinabi na recoverable amount, na bagong recoverable amount tong January 1, 2028. Okay? What if meron, no? What if kung meron sinabi? Okay? So, kapag merong sinabi, kailangan i-consider mo whichever is lower. Yung carrying amount ba? Ito. Yung 5 million minus 1,350 minus 450,000 at the time of cessation, or kung mas mababa yung recoverable amount. Okay? So kung mas mababa yung recoverable amount, yun yung i-recognize mo as value ng equipment. Okay? Ano yung treatment nung decrease? Okay? Yung treatment ng decrease is impairment loss. Okay? So, ayun, hanggang dyan lang muna, no? Kung meron kang katanungan, clarification dun sa ating discussion with regards to PFRS 5, comment down below, no? Okay? So, salamat pakikinig. Paalam.